Welcome to the GameCola Podcast, everybody. GameCola Podcast number 11. Tonight's podcast is performed by Michael Gray, Paul Franzen, and Marianne Fenwick. You might remember that they did the last podcast, and that's just because we recorded both podcasts at the same time. We're going to talk about Versus Mode, which is just a bunch of different topics like Doug, GameStop, and Michael starts crying because the San Jose Sharks choked in the playoffs. And we're also going to talk about the games that are coming out this month, so enjoy the podcast, everyone. Hey everyone, and welcome to the GameCola Podcast. My name is Michael Gray. I'm your host for tonight. I write stuff for GameCola.
Hello, I'm Paul Franzen. I'm the editor-in-chief of GameCola.
Marianne Fenwick, I just do things. Hi.
Okay, so tonight on the GameCola Podcast, we are discussing things, presumably. Wow, I have about 50 topics.
You don't plan on going through all of them, do you?
Yes, every single one must be discussed.
Especially the Nancy Drew one.
There's cover art for the new Nancy Drew game coming out in July. It's not very exciting, though.
It has a boat on it.
Yeah, Ransom of the
She's
Seven...
on a boat?
Yeah.
She's on a boat!
Wait, is she on a boat? I just see a sunken boat. Am I looking at the wrong one?
Well, it's Ransom of the Seven Ships is the name of the game, so I presume that boats or ships will be somehow involved in the game. Okay, what are the other topics? Paul, introduce a topic.
I would like to talk about whether it should be illegal for minors to purchase M-rated video games.
Marianne, what do you think?
Well, is it currently illegal for them to go into R-rated movies?
I don't think it's illegal, no.
Well, they'll try and stop you when they're taking a ticket, but I don't know.
But they're not fined or anything. The movie people aren't fined if they sell someone a ticket.
Illegal for them to buy it themselves? Maybe people actually selling the games could discourage that. But just like a parent taking a child in to see the R-rated movie, I suppose that... Well, sure, if that's what they really want, then the child can play with the parent going and getting the game for them and just deciding for themselves if this is alright for their child.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
I haven't played many M-rated games, so I don't know what they're like.
Oh, you didn't grow up on Grand Theft Auto?
No, I did the Prince of Persia Warrior Within, which was rated M, but I thought that was stupid. It would have been a much better game if they didn't decide to try to make it all mature and throw in M-rated stuff. It brought down the quality of the game.
I just wanted to bring this up because it's actually been in the news lately. A few years ago, California was trying to ban the sale of violent video games to minors. They actually passed a law about it, but then a federal judge actually said no. They overturned that law.
All right! You're awesome, Marianne. High five for California.
Governor Schwarzenegger is petitioning the Supreme Court to reconsider their decision.
Damn, what has he ever done anything good for us? How long until he's going there?
What, Marianne? Didn't you vote in the last election?
I didn't vote for Arnold. I was too young.
We had an election on Tuesday.
It's not my fault.
I'm talking about the Tuesday election, Marianne.
Like I said, I couldn't find my ballot, and we had such a low voter turnout anyway.
Way to go, Marianne. Way to go.
Yeah, it's not my fault.
Anyway, one of the propositions that Arnold came up with is that the Senate legislator and the governor, it's illegal for them to give themselves bonuses when the state is running a deficit.
And that's the only one that passed.
That was the only thing on the ballot that passed.
Nice.
So we're saying that's a good law. Way to go, Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
Thumbs up all around. Wow, we got off topic. You wanted to talk about licensed video games. What did you have to say, Marianne?
I'm not sure what you mean by licensed video games. What I said was these crappy movie tie-in games that you see.
Yeah, that's what a licensed video game is. It's based off a movie or a book or something like that.
Or a book wouldn't be so bad, but how many of those do you ever see?
Harry Potter and Half-Blood Prince is coming out, but that's for segment 4.
Inspired by the
There's
movie.
also about, 7 Nancy Drew games.
Yeah, 20.
20, sorry.
This game is number 20. To be fair, not all of them are based off the books, though. They started off making games that just star Nancy Drew but don't have anything to do with any of the books, and then they moved into basing some of them off the books.
It kind of seems like they do a better job with those than most licensed games, actually. Or at least based on your many, many videos.
That's what I think is good about the Nancy Drew series as a licensed game, is that they seem to be more focused on making a good game than trying to fit their particular niche. Like, if we were to ask Michael Ridgway about Barbie Horse Adventures, which I understand he likes.
Hey, I remember enjoying the Barbie video games when I was
I know,
preteen.
But those games are, like, designed specifically for girls.
And it worked when I was 10 and younger.
I know, but I'm saying that people who aren't inside the target audience don't particularly like them.
Same thing with Hannah Montana, but then you bucked the trend.
Okay, can I get to the point I was trying to make? I was trying to say that the Nancy Drew games don't do that. They do stuff like soldering challenges and other things like that, which everybody would say, oh, soldering challenge, that's a thing for a boy. You don't put that in a video game designed for girls. But they do it anyway. So I think that's a strategy that they use, which they use to great effect, is just focus on making a good game rather than trying to please a small target audience.
And I guess, too, they're not relying entirely on just the license to sell itself, like a lot of other licensed games are.
Oh, anything else? What was it? Rock Band versus Guitar Hero.
Aren't they the same game?
Yeah, that's what I was asking, but Marianne said we had to...
They are different competing brands, and yes, Guitar Hero came first, but then Rock Band introduced, oh hey, let's sing while you're playing this dinky little plastic guitar. I actually discussed this with my friend who's a GameStop employee yesterday.
Well, I have a question about that, because it was brought up in, I believe, last month's Versus mode. Was that GameStop employees are allowed to play as many video games as they want?
Apparently they can then sell the games as new after they play them.
Yeah.
I had not heard of that perk.
Supposedly.
Why don't more of you guys work there?
Because GameStop is evil.
I haven't bought a game from GameStop in a very long time, actually.
Yeah, see, GameStop is very unpopular at the GameCola Podcast, that's why. Because they do...
like, they're pretty unpopular with hardcore gamers in general.
Why, what's wrong with them?
I don't know, I actually just think I get a better value at other places, like, I like buying on Amazon, and I like using a video game trading website called GoozeX that I mentioned
True,
before.
of course you can get it cheaper than at any other brand name store, but how's GameStop different from other ones? Yeah, my friend.
Well, I know, I'm still bitter from the Funko Land days when every time I would try to buy a Super Nintendo game, they would really, really give me a hard time about not purchasing a cleaning kit with it. So, I'm still upset about that, and I hold grudges for a very long time.
I don't like how they never let you sell anything to them, and they'll give you like 3 cents for it. It's like, oh, you're turning in a used copy of Super Mario Galaxy. Here you go, that's worth $2. And then they'll sell it for $45.
I think you're definitely better off getting rid of your used games on like eBay or something like that than selling them to GameStop.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing from now on.
But I think also people don't like the fact that, like they were pushing cleaning kits back in the day. I think now they tend to push strategy guides, and they really, really push for the pre-orders. Like I went in to buy a DS game a while ago, and they were like, "Oh, you like this RPG? Hey, you should get this shooting game for the DS. It's also for the DS, so you will probably like it. Why don't you pre-order it right now?" Like they do stuff like that, and I think that really grates on people.
Yeah, if it was actually good, like they did back in the day, or in the GameCube era, where I had like a down payment for the next Legend of Zelda game, which was going to be awesome. It turned out to be Wind Waker. But
what the heck?
But because I had pre-ordered it, they gave me that special disc with Ocarina of Time and Ocarina of Time Master Quest on it. That was nice.
I think they do still do some cool pre-order stuff. Like I pre-ordered the first Phoenix Wright game, or maybe the second one, and I got a little tiny stuffed animal of Phoenix Wright.
Oh wow,
so
dude,
that was fantastic.
I want one of those.
I'm looking at it right now. Actually, it's hanging out with us.
Oh, well, I'll have to look at my Doug keychain. He's wearing the Phoenix Wright suit in my keychain. Nobody can see this. I'll have to take a picture and put it on the show notes.
Is he got to show up for a date or something?
Yeah,
Does he say something?
He has a date for Patty. The battery is dead, though.
Otherwise, what would he have said? Hi, Patty, I'm Doug.
No,
I don't remember how he sounded.
His cheeks blush. He's blushing because he's with the girl of his dreams, Patty Mayonnaise.
And he knows this for certain in 6th grade. Sometimes you just know true love.
Marianne, have you seen the show?
I did know.
That was the premise of every single episode. There was always like a fantasy.
Sexual tension between 12-year-olds, yes.
There was always a fantasy about
I thought
him.
he was like 14.
I'm pretty sure they were in early middle school. 6th grade, I'm really sure.
There was the episode where they graduated, but I don't remember what school or grade
I
they
think Marianne's
graduated
right. I think that was
from.
from middle school. And Doug was getting all nervous about moving on to high school, where he would be with like all of the same kids he already knew. I didn't really get it.
Yeah, and then he goes to the principal's office. We never see the principal. We always see the vice principal in the series. And Roger was sitting in the principal's seat. And he and Doug shared a nice little moment about how they were both afraid. And you know, that...
And discovered their feelings for each other.
No. The friendship, the bond they formed...
About that, isn't there?
The bond they formed caused them to know that they could I'm not finishing this sentence.
I don't.
They graduated.
We're done talking about Doug.
They graduated, and it was a happy ending. The end. Next topic.
What topic were we just talking about?
Guitar Hero
We were talking about GameStop.
GameStop. We were talking about Guitar Hero versus Rock Band.
All right.
I don't think I brought up the topic in order for you guys to rant on GameStop today.
Well, you brought it up for us to rant on Doug.
So basically, I think people dislike GameStop because their salesmen are really pushy and they offer bad deals when you sell games back to them.
Yeah.
I think their prices are competitive with other places, but I think hardcore gamers hold a grudge against GameStop, so they don't want to buy there as much.
Yeah, and hardcore gamers like me, I would say they do not order a good selection of games. I mean, older games when I want
awesome movie tie-ins.
Well, no, I'm saying, I want to play like Game Boy Advance games that I haven't gotten to.
That's a big problem with GameStop right now. They used to sell games for all of the old systems, and they just completely gave up on that, and that's kind of bothers me too.
I was going to ask about that, but Zach's not here on the podcast. I want to know where on earth he got where he can get N64 games nowadays. Besides, eBay.
eBay, definitely. I see them at yard sales all the time, actually. I just picked up GoldenEye for N64 last week at a yard sale.
Oh, that's cool.
And, actually, where I used to live in Princeton, right down the street from me, there was a place called We've Got Freakin' Video Games. And they had, in fact, freaking video games.
Yeah.
They had everything from Atari to 360. It was great.
That's
so,
amazing.
If anyone's in the Princeton area, you should check it out.
Okay, what about Movember? We don't have the guys here. We can't force them to join a Movember team.
Oh, we can now bring that up in a few months when it's closer to Movember.
Well, can't we announce that we're thinking of it?
Sure.
Well, in the Captain Eric's what's the name of the in Captain
Eric's Cheat Codes for Life.
Yes, in that column, somebody, I don't know who, it certainly wasn't me, wrote to Captain Eric talking about beards. Was it, Paul?
Yes, it was beards. I believe this mystery person was having trouble growing a beard to support his field hockey team or something.
Yeah.
What?
Why did they have to lose in the first round? I gotta go cry, Marianne. I can't believe the Sharks. Best record in the league in 80 years.
Sharks,
The San Jose Sharks, they have the best record in the league in 80 years, and they lost to the rookie team in the first round of the playoffs.
Awesome. What happens?
I'm crying.
You go do that.
Finish the conversation without me.
About what were we talking about? Movember? Oh yeah, because I know so much about mustaches.
Yes, Movember, the month of the mustache.
Which I didn't know until yesterday evening. I had no idea what Michael meant by that.
It's in support of some charity. I'm not sure which, but it involves people shaving their faces clean on like the 1st of November, and then just not shaving at all for the rest of November to see who can grow the most impressive beard. And we were talking about setting up a team for Movember, a GameCola team.
That would be interesting, because half the GameCola staff members have beards already, apparently.
Yeah, I'd like to see them clean shaven.
And then watch them grow again, and we can put it up on a website. We can have a poll. Everybody gets to vote for which GameCola staff member has the hottest
we
beard.
We could give weekly updates on it, too. We could post pictures on the status of our beards. That'd be awesome.
Yes.
Lizzo said I can't do it, though, so I'm not sure now.
Aww. Why
For some
not?
reason, she doesn't like either the prospect of me shaving my beard now or of me letting it grow for a month. I don't know why.
Lame. She's got you whipped, man.
She does. Maybe I'll do it anyway. I told you guys that I got fan mail about my beard last month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Paul's beard is epic. It's awesome. Was the exact fan mail, I believe.
Yes, it was.
And he hadn't been talking about beards or anything? This is just out of the blue. I must comment on your beard, man.
Zach Rich was making fun of the GameCola staff. He's like, oh, everybody has beards. What a bunch of losers. That's the way Zach talks, by the way.
It was in the ill-fated April Fool's edition of GameCola.
Yeah.
Very ill-fated.
And one of our readers decided to counteract that particular argument.
No, not only that, he I don't think I published this part, but he said he wanted to quit the mailing list over it too.
Oh.
He was that upset.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Did anybody stand up for some of the insults he laid my way? What were my insults? I forget what he insulted me about.
No, that was basically it was the only letter I received. If we check the comments page, maybe there would be something more.
Yeah.
But it would probably just be from one of our writers. This was from an actual fan, which really doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. That's amazing. You'd think out of all the insults he gave in that particular issue, the beard, Paul's beard, is the one that people get upset about. Comparing Paul and Lizzo's relationship to, what was it, a pig and a duck? He said Paul and Lizzo are legit, like a pig and a duck are legit. That's okay, but insulting Paul's beard? GameCola listeners, our readers and listeners, we love you. We forgot to plug the GameCola YouTube page, though.
Oh, right.
I cut it out the last podcast I edited where we, plugged everything, and then it got cut out. Sorry.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, Marianne, have you been checking the GameCola YouTube page?
I think the last time I saw it, you had just private videos there, so I thought, oh, what am I doing here?
Well, Marianne, nowadays there are plenty of videos. How many videos do we have on the GameCola YouTube page, Paul?
I think last time I checked, it was in the 200s.
We have over 200 videos.
Concerning what?
Paul?
Well, most of them are video walkthrough/playthrough of various games. We have several from the Mega Man series. We have some from Final Fantasy VI.
Mm-hmm.
I recently posted one of Day of the Tentacle that was one that Lizzo and I did together.
So everybody visit.
There's some other videos too, aren't there?
There are a bunch of Shirley Temple videos, but yes, I posted a bunch of Shirley Temple videos. We will watch them.
Onto the GameCola Club.
Yes, onto the GameCola YouTube page.
I think they have more hits than a lot of our video game videos.
Yeah, just the one Shirley Temple video's got more hits than Paul's entire walkthrough of Day of the Tentacle. Just give it a couple of months. I mean, my Phoenix Wright videos, they only had 10 hits, and now that it's been 3 months, they're up to 96.
Nice.
Okay, so we have about 5,000 total views in all, and 12 subscribers. 204 videos, with more on the way. So everybody make sure to go check out the GameCola YouTube page at...
Wait, I think I know. It's youtube.com/user/gc.net, which is all one word spelled out. It's not GC period net. It's actually GC and the word dot and then net. You can also, if you go to GameCola.net, there's a graphic that says GC on YouTube. you can click on that too.
Alright, that's awesome. Yeah. I liked your Day of the Tentacle walkthrough, but we have to talk about that later, I guess. Marianne, come over here. She ran away to play with the puppies. We have to figure out something to get her attention. We're going to talk about Ender's Game, Marianne. Hey, see?
What is there a video game rating? I thought it was inclusiveness.
I thought talking about Ender's Game would bring out her inner nerd and get her to run over here and be on the podcast again.
Is someone an Ender's Game fan?
Ender's Game I hadn't heard before.
Paul dropped it.
There was a so-so book released, I think, last December. I read maybe the first chapter and thought, this isn't all that interesting.
Well, to be quite fair, none of the books in the Ender's Game series are quite interesting.
Whatever.
Have you even read the first one?
Besides Ender's Game, and Ender's Game is only...
the Ender's Game and the 3 ones that come after that are awesome. Ender's Shadow is awesome. The rest of the Shadow books are kind of lame, though.
The Shadow books are okay.
I didn't really like them. I really like the Speaker for the Dead trilogy, though. Yeah, I found it a lot better than all of the political crap in the Shadow books. I was just bored to tears by all of that. I wanted to know what happened to Bean, but I didn't care about the political movements of all the different countries.
Yeah, Peter takes over the world because he's evil.
He's not evil.
Yes, he is.
No way. He's only evil in the first book. Then he becomes good.
He becomes... No, wait. Now, Valentine is the good one, and Peter is the evil one. And Ender is
that is a very outdated point of view.
Ender is the one in
valid
between.
in the first book.
Oh, okay. Never mind, then.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Well, he shouldn't be allowed to change his books 50 years after he wrote them and can't remember them anymore. I laughed about that. That was like the author's note to Ender's Shadow was all, hey, thanks to all the people who fact-checked this for me because I can no longer remember Ender's Game.
That's hilarious. I did think it was really strange that Peter's character changed so much in the books following the Ender's Game. I thought that was a little weird.
Yeah, so that's why.
Yeah.
This is the transition song, It's a transition into segment 3. Okay, moving on to segment 3, which is the segment where we talk about a game that all 3 of us have played. So let's try to figure out a game we have all played and remember.
We decided what you would discuss that next time before the podcast.
I haven't played any of the Nancy Drew games.
Nor have I. I'm sorry.
So that's a problem.
Oh, well, we're in trouble then. Okay, everybody, that wraps up segment 3. This is the transition song, That's all we had for segment 3. Now in segment 4, what games we're playing now and what games are coming out this month? Or next month? Why don't we do the games that are coming out next month? Wii Sports 2. Or Wii Sports Island Resort, whatever the heck they're calling it.
I don't really know anything about it. What sports are in this game? Does anyone know?
I don't know.
Because I actually liked the original Wii Sports quite a bit.
Really? Why?
I thought it was fun.
It's enjoyable enough, but nowadays I only play it when someone else comes over and says, "Oh wow, a Wii! I want to try Wii Sports."
Yeah, but Wii Sports is just like...
It's a demo of the system, nothing else to it.
I know, that's what I don't like about it.
The games are also fun enough, though. Like, I play with my family whenever they're around.
It's mini games, though. I get the feeling it's just mini games with bad controls,
yeah,
not an actual
enough
real
across
game.
A wide audience there. My dad, for example, he was really into the golf game. I could walk in and find him hogging Wii.
Mario Golf. I mean, come on, golf? Seriously?
Hey, that game.
Yeah, did I tell you I bought Tiger Woods for him and he couldn't figure it out, so he went back to Wii Golf?
I don't know. I could never get the controls to work. Sorry.
Works fine for me.
Yeah, it worked horrible for me, and it worked horrible for us. We had a family, the Christmas get-together, and everybody's like, oh, let's play Wii Sports. And the 5-year-old beat everybody because the controls don't work. And
controls obviously work for the 5-year-old.
I think you set it up wrong.
You got a thing against 5-year-olds?
No. He played Wii Sports, we did Wii Boxing, and all he did was because he's 5 years old, so he's like on a sugar rush permanently.
So he won by pure energy.
So he'd run just by flinging his arms randomly the entire time.
He had the most energy of any of you.
Rather than having strategy.
Strategy in Wii Sports? No.
Well, the boxing game has a strategy. You have
No,
to,
it doesn't. It's pound random. You can never figure it out otherwise.
it pounds with your left hand, and you somehow are able to block when you pull the remote up, but it doesn't work.
Actually, that's the one I like least among all the Wii sports. I don't care for the boxing one.
The bowling game is the best one.
Yeah, the bowling one is awesome, but I'm
It is.
like, get Super Monkey Ball. Doesn't Super Monkey Ball come with all those various sports
I have no idea.
as unlockable minigames? I didn't play it that often. I didn't play it that much, but the GameCube version had pool, bowling, and some other
the
sport.
GameCube version, that's completely different than a Wii game.
Yeah,
Buttons. I mean, come on.
I know, but I'm assuming that they had those same mini games in the Wii version.
Right, okay.
That's all I was saying. But no, I just like how the press release for or maybe it wasn't the press release, but the press release for Wii Sports 2 is like we're making a sequel to the blockbuster seller Wii Sports.
I don't know.
It should be illegal to say stuff like that.
I'm like, seriously? The game?
It is the top-selling game for the Wii.
Yeah.
I think if we would friggin' have downloadable demos on the system, then I would probably check out the demo for this game. But since they don't, I'm probably just going to forget it even exists after this podcast.
Yeah. Fair point.
It sounds cool, but it's not exciting enough for me to take a risk and actually buy it without getting to try it first.
Yeah, I think the only game the only sport I've seen is like jet ski racing, which I'm not sure that's a sport.
Oh yeah, wasn't that the second game to do anything with the Wii Fit board?
I think that Mike Tyson's Punch-Out uses the balance board too.
Yay!
But from what I understand, the Wii controls aren't very good. You're better off just playing it like Mike Tyson Punch-Out on the NES.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm fine with that too.
Oh, what other games are coming out on the list? We had Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Ghostbusters, the video game. Which is going to be... we already talked about it. It's going to be an
But if it has a demo on Xbox Live, I will be very excited.
Yay, Ghostbusters.
Actually, there's one thing that I thought was kind of interesting. Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings comes out this month, and while it's not really interesting in itself, it comes packaged with one of the old Indiana Jones point-and-click adventure games.
Interesting.
So that's kind of cool.
This is a question, or this was one of the topics I had for segment 1 was remakes versus re-releases. And I was kind of hoping that Daniel would be on here, because with the Mega Man series, what they did is they just packaged all 6 of the NES Mega Man games into a GameCube game. Do you know anything about that or no?
Not really.
Oh, well, it's basically the Mega Man anniversary, and it's like choose which of the original 6 Mega Man games you want to play. And it was basically they just put them all together in one big thing, rather than trying to update the graphics or anything, which people like to do with re-releases.
Well, here's the thing about updated graphics on remakes or re-releases or whatever.
Yeah.
It can be cool, but it also can be awful. Like they're remaking Ninja Turtles in Time, the old Super Nintendo game, and they just gave it the most awful looking 3D graphics in the world. Like, I would totally buy that game if they did not do that. It's just horribly ugly looking. So based on that, I'm okay with them not changing graphics, because I don't trust them to make the graphics. Like, I don't trust them to make them an actual improvement.
Yeah. And yeah, that's why I like the Mega Man re-release. But I also liked it because it had 6 games rather than we're just going to re-release one old NES game or one old Super Nintendo game. We're releasing all 6 of them at once, because that's possible. You don't have to be Final Fantasy serious and release them all separately to make more money.
Well, if you're releasing them separately on Xbox Live or the Wii's online service, I think that's fine. I wouldn't buy a disc that just had Mega Man 2 on it, but I would be fine with just buying Mega Man 2 off of Xbox Live.
Yeah. Yeah, that would work too, but I guess just because I'm a Nintendo boy, and has the Virtual Console gotten any good games yet?
Are you kidding me? It has Secret of Mana, it has Toe Jam and Earl, it has all the old Mario games.
Yeah, but, I have the original Mario games, and Secret of Mana was
your
released
question
for
was,
the
does
DS.
it have any good games yet? And it certainly has a lot of good games.
I don't know.
Now, whether it's better to play them on the Wii than to play the original version, that's up to debate.
Yeah, that's a debate.
Yes. Which, actually, write that down. We can use that next one.
Well, for Duck Hunt. Question about Duck Hunt. They don't have that for the Wii, do they?
I do not know.
Just for the NES. And that seems like something that's cooler to play on the NES than Virtual Console. I don't know how they do that on Virtual Console.
Well, yeah, because you wouldn't get the cool-looking bright orange gun.
Yeah.
Shooting with the Wiimote would be totally different.
Well, I like the bright orange gun. That's fun.
Oh, no, I'm agreeing with you. I love the bright orange gun. I would not want it any other way, except for the gray gun, because that one's kind of cool. It's so edgy.
We talked about this on the last podcast. When we were talking about the Wizard, mentioned the Wizard, which is basically just a huge plug for, what was that accessory?
For the Power Glove.
Yeah. So we mentioned that on the last podcast. It's like, accessories can be fun. Oh, any other games? Ghostbusters 3, Zombie Apocalypse. What about Harry Potter and Half-Blood Prince? Talk about that.
Whatever.
Yet another game that ties into the movie.
I was so excited about Order of the Phoenix because I thought it would be so much fun to use the Wiimote as a magic wand. But I don't know how long I played the stupid game, but everything I did was just some stupid side puzzle that had nothing to do with the story.
I know.
I played it for hours and nothing happened. And I was like, okay, I am not going to spend the rest of my life searching the castle for golden snitches or whatever. I'm done.
You have to find all the members of the Order of the Phoenix, and then you get a cutscene which vaguely resembles the movie.
Oh no, they were every flavor beans. They've had that since, I think, the third game.
Oh.
I can recommend the third game, actually. I think I rented that for PS2, and I beat the whole thing and actually enjoyed it. They had some tie-in on the PS2 that used iToys, so you could, I don't know, smash golden frogs or something, or chocolate frogs, whatever. It was fun.
I think the best part of Order of the Phoenix was the few times I actually did solve some of the puzzles, then I got to see interviews with the actors from the movie. That was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, those were fun.
I didn't have that in the computer version.
That was about it. I could just get the DVD and watch the extras, though.
No, you actually can't, because the Harry Potter DVDs, they do not have extras on those movies.
Really?
They do not. They do not have commentary, they do not have behind-the-scenes featurettes or anything like that. They had they had deleted scenes, and...
Do you remember the first two DVDs? I remember having to work with some them on the DVD puzzles. And
yeah, those were... Okay, I'm talking about recently, but did you see the deleted scenes they included for Order of the Phoenix?
I don't believe I did.
The longest one was 1 minute long, and it was Professor Trelawney during the speech that Dumbledore gives at the beginning of the movie.
That sounds kind of boring.
Yeah, it's really boring, and that was their quote-unquote deleted scene.
So then the interviews on the Order of the Phoenix video game were more entertaining than the extras on the actual movie.
Yeah.
Weird.
So
that is amazing.
Specifically for the game.
Yeah, the actors did their voices, so they interviewed them. But I think, as I mentioned on the GameCola blog, I have some hopes for Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Not as a movie, though, you insist.
Not as a movie, but as a video game, because the movie was delayed 9 months, which means the game gets an extra 9 months of production. So that means...
You think maybe some actors got pregnant? You said 9 months?
No.
Well, I never counted them out, I guess.
Anyway, I'm saying they had an extra 9 months of production after the game was already completed, which could mean that they made the game awesome, or that they just sat on their cans the whole time and didn't do anything.
Well, they might have just started working on another game instead.
Yeah.
They might have just completely finished it. They probably have a warehouse full of these games ready to be released. But
I know.
Or maybe they're still working on it. Maybe they're actually trying to make it. Or actually, they're probably done working on it by now if it's coming out this month.
Yeah. But if they could have actually gone back and said, hey, let's actually make controls that work this time, now that we have 9 extra months.
Why would they do that? They have a game that's completed, no matter how crappy it is. They have a guaranteed audience.
But the better the game is, the more copies it will sell, right?
like the more popular the movie is.
Oh, okay, never mind. Good games don't sell lots of copies.
No, people buy because of name Harry Potter. I think your average person who's out to buy video games, especially something like Harry Potter, says, okay, that sounds cool, because they saw a good movie with it.
Well, okay, fine. I get games. What do you use to determine which game you're going to buy? Is it,
Slash rent, I don't really buy.
Oh, well, how do you decide then, Marianne? Just name recognition? Is that it?
I don't know. It was actually, last time I think I was in Blockbuster, I was thinking, should I rent Wii Music just to see if it's any good? Instead I've got Okami, so how about that?
Oh wow, you got that game for the Wii? Wow, that sucks.
I didn't get very far, I got too frustrated.
The controls are horrible.
Yes, I agree.
I think we had a review of that last year.
The PlayStation version or the Wii version?
The Wii version. Kate wrote a review about it, specifically talking about how upset she was that it didn't work on the Wii.
Good girl, Kate, good girl.
There's a new Sims game coming out this month.
And a Sims movie. Score.
The Sims movie's coming out this month?
No, but I'm going to see it.
I don't know. I no longer am a fan of Sims I once was.
Did you ever play Simcopter?
No.
That game is fun
for
one reason, and that is you fly around and you can pick up people and give them rides in your helicopters, and then you can fly really, really high up and push them out of your helicopter.
Oh my ball!
So much fun.
Oh, I have to get that game now. I remember
Actually,
I bought the game specifically to do that.
I always confused the Sims games with the Tycoon games. Wasn't there like a Sim roller coaster Tycoon game that Zach Huffman wrote a review for? Everything was like in all caps whenever he said something
that was me. That was my review.
That was you? That was an awesome review, by the way. Everybody loved it, right?
Yes, it's very, very high rated. It's the one where Lizzo bought me the game for my birthday, and I didn't want to offend her, so I replaced everything that I said badly about the game with good things, but to let people know that I was lying, I put everything that was a lie in caps.
Yeah, so the game has totally not annoying music. Do you guys want to discuss what games we're playing now, or do you just want to just say bye?
I'm not really playing anything right now.
What about you,
my
Marianne?
Xbox is in the shop.
No, not really. I didn't really take out the Wii when I have people come over, and they come over mostly for rock games. Super Smash Bros. Completely forgotten.
And I've just been playing Phoenix Wright. Okay, everybody, that's the end of the GameCola Podcast. This is Michael saying goodbye.
Goodbye.
See ya.
The GameCola Podcast is brought to you by GameCola.net, video game humor. The podcast crew tonight was Paul Franzen, GameCola's editor-in-chief, Michael Gray, the Employee of the Year for 2008, and Marianne Fenwick, the Guest Star of the Year for 2008. The podcast was recorded and edited by Michael Gray. The music you heard in the podcast was the transition song, written and recorded by Michael Gray,